I have more room.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello everyone. If you can't hear me, let me know. Everyone, you guys make some noise. My hand looks so red.
Your hand looks so red.
It looks like it's covered in blood.
Make noise.
Oh no!
It looks like you
pointing
flopped
a
your
bloody
hand,
finger
Logan.
at us.
I look like I have two different colored lights in my room.
You
now.
do.
It's weird.
Is the sun setting or something?
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
And there is no sun here.
There is no sun.
There is only snow.
There's only snow.
We got 5 inches the past 2 days, on top of the like 6 inches that were still on the ground.
Gross.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Midwest snow sticks around forever.
Yeah, because it's fucking cold outside. It's like 2 degrees right now.
I love your notification. They're going to church and then IHOP after.
That'll be our RP warm up. Is what your character's IHOP orders
What's
are.
your order?
Yeah.
If you say a burger, I'm gonna judge your character.
IHOP.
It's gonna be a sweet tea, and Sludic's gonna finish it before the waitress leaves and ask for a refill.
That's a
refill.
Oh man. Oh god.
Real life stories of Drew Forsyth.
Milk. There was someone who posted a picture today on Twitter of the caption of it was like old people playing Eberron. It was just these middle-aged guys playing an Eberron campaign. And they were sitting at their table, they had the big wet erase map, and they all had their computers and books and stuff, and it was really nice. But then someone was looking at like what they were drinking, and the person closest to the camera had a half-gallon jug of milk sitting in front of them.
God.
And
Logan,
someone was like, "Is that milk?" And I was like, "Drew, is that you?"
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, I like milk as much as the next guy, unless it's
stuff.
Drew, apparently.
Drew used to put down some milk.
I mean,
man,
you,
I do
Logan,
what I
you used to
can.
walk around with a half-gallon of chalky milk.
Chalky milk.
Oh, well,
right after
chocolate milk
marching
is
band.
Chalky
different.
milk.
Chocolate milk
Nah,
is different.
I'm talking
story.
2%.
2%?
Yeah, you can't do that with whole milk or you'll die.
That's
No,
disgusting.
yeah, see,
Choke on it.
I couldn't do whole milk. To this day, I still don't really like whole milk. It's too much.
Whole milk suck.
Almond
There's too much milk in this
for the
milk.
win.
Yeah.
Almond milk.
Actually, yeah, almond milk's pretty fucking
Almond milk
sick.
is
The vanilla
It's
almond milk
healthier for you.
slaps. It's good.
Yeah, I get the Aldi brand almond milk.
That's where you you messed up and got your foot broken. Drink a hole. You're right in a bushy way.
It was all that 2%
I failed myself. Hey man, at least it's not skim milk. Which
Yikes.
I grew up
is
on
just
skim
water
milk,
lies
so-
about
so did
being
I.
milk.
I have a
It was
taste
not
for
good.
it, but
No,
it's not good.
It's water.
It's fine.
it's white water. Get
It's
outta here.
water. It's
is.
milky water.
It is the skim, the very top layer of whole milk
Then
put in water. That's what skim milk is, because it's the skim of
Disgusting.
milk.
Could I get some skim?
No.
Just
Can I
the
get a little
skim.
more skim with my milk? Gross.
Do you eat your milk with or without the skin?
Without.
Without, please. No bones, please.
Extra
No
skim
bones.
for me.
Extra.
Oh, I'll take his skin.
Gross. That's just
It's like, yeah,
but way worse.
I'm just imagining getting something to drink and it just has like an inch thick layer on top
Of just like curdled milk.
of curdled milk that you have to just like slurp.
I didn't ask for a lot.
Like a jello.
That also, though, that sounds like a weird hipster cocktail. Like, you know, 1 shot of gin, you know, an ounce of skim,
Skim.
egg
Does.
white.
That's
Simple syrup.
disgusting.
What
Ew.
are those
God.
drinks with egg in them?
Yeah.
Maraschino cherry on top.
I don't remember what they're called. Josh used to talk about them all the time. They're like carbonated
Yeah, it just makes them, like,
alcoholic
frothy.
drinks with an egg in it.
I'd just rather not. I think I'll just not have a carbonated drink. Then
Oh,
get an egg white.
I gotta remember what it's fucking called. It's gonna drive me.
I've had
crazy.
food poisoning from eggs before. That just sounds like that. I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
just a lot of work for anyone involved. This kind of
Egg cream.
And
I
those
mean,
are
I love a
worthy
good whiskey
drinks.
sour. Yeah.
Yeah.
What whiskey sour.
They
But
don't have
5?
eggs in them, therefore it's a valid drink.
5 though?
That's
they're
the
small.
qualifier.
That's 45 grams of protein, my dude. That's all you need. Just that. That's your whole meal.
Yeah.
all,
That
all
gets you
day
through the
long.
day. Who needs to eat
Dude,
food
looking
when you have a
swole.
whiskey
What
sour?
pre-workout you using?
Pull up
5
pre-workout
whiskey sours.
whiskey sour. I was just getting absolutely wasted before going to the gym every day.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, now I need to drink some water.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Even though that was a cough, I think.
It sure was.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, anyway, hello everyone. My name is Logan. I never say dice on the internet. I do D&D stuff, also on the internet.
You still hold.
This is our Shadows
Yeah.
Over Driftchapel campaign. Yeah. I think I want to go back when this campaign's done, watch through all the VODs, and make a compilation of all of the times that we hear Daniel's partner in the background say something. And so it's just like a 5-minute thing of whatever he's saying in the background.
Oh my god.
I
Pretty
specifically,
fucking funny.
I went back and like sort of skipped around in the session where you last were in the chapel, just to kind of remember like what you did and sort of the things you found. And that was the session that Daniel's partner was practicing clarinet in the background. And there were so many times, like, I think there was at one point where Brady was like, all right, now that we've established that Katu is a clarinet player.
The devil's horn.
Yeah. I think we said, like, you play clarinet like you worship an eldritch horror. Like, it was so funny. So I definitely want to, just splice all those together.
Hilarious.
Oh, man. But, so this session, not necessarily our last, but we just finished up some downtime, and we're really ramping up. Party's gonna head back into the profane chapel and see what's down there, see what's in there since they've been resting and recuperating. I think eventually with the intent to see what's going on under Driftchapel. They've seen all these tunnels, people have gone missing, now that the whole town's empty, so getting real juicy, so I'm very excited to see what we do, what happens. As far as announcements go, before we get into all of that, there is the Dale After Tomorrow on Monday. However, after that, we'll see what's in store for March, because Rachel and myself, not we as in the whole group, but Rachel and myself are getting...
We're moving?
We're getting married at the beginning of April. So, of course, the month of March is going to be busy with a capital
Hell yeah,
B,
it is.
capital B and a
Crazy
capital
cupcakes.
S. 2 S's? Bussy? Yeah, March is going to be real bussy for us, so...
How did I not see that?
In Driftchapel today.
I was like, what
Lucy.
the fuck?
What's the one bussy? Yeah, so March is gonna be real bussy. So we may have to postpone certain sessions and certain streams, but or we may just not necessarily do D&D stuff in March. We may just do some other stuff and hang out and play games together and do stuff. So I'll figure that stuff out over the weekend, and we'll talk about it on Monday, the day after tomorrow. But for now, we're here. Only other announcement, I made it on Monday, but I'm going to do it again. I published another adventure! Woo! It's a Sharn adventure, a detective mystery, sort of based on the Sharn Knights campaign and that sort of detective theme, based on all of my favorite detective media like Sherlock Holmes and Psych and all of that kind of weird, crazy mystery stuff. And then plus also just old detective mystery stories. The ones that are really dramatic and very action-oriented, just because they're cheesy and fun. So that is out now, A Scandal in Sharn. It is based off the Sherlock Holmes story, A Scandal in Bohemia. And I I went to go check like how many copies I had sold the other day, and it didn't dawn on me until I went to go search for the module, and I was like, I didn't check to see if someone else had an adventure named A Scandalous Shard, and I was like, oh no! No one does.
Okay.
Ooh, but I very
Nice
quickly
luck
was like,
roll
all
there,
right, I
man.
need to add that to my checklist of things to do before I publish an adventure. I was just so excited that I didn't check.
Logan's first cease and desist.
Right?
You frame that shit.
Honestly, that'd be pretty fun. I feel like with people in the tabletop RPG community and the D&D community, it would go either one of two ways. It would be a cease and desist, or they'd be like, hey, lol, you did this. I'd be like, oh, fuck, sorry.
Yeah.
And that'd be the end of it. But, so there will be some new adventures in that same vein coming out in the next couple months, hopefully with an original title. And then also, some of my players in that campaign have wanted to write some Sharn-esque adventures, so we may start doing some collaborations on that. So it's gonna be very, very, very fun. Very excited. But besides that, no announcements. Besides, just thank you everyone for your patience over the past couple weeks, and then the upcoming weeks as things continue to be busy, be bussy. With that, I'm ready to jump in. First, we'll do a little bit of recap. Then we'll do a little bit of RP warm-up, talk about IHOP. We'll do any last-minute prep stuff, and then we will freaking jump right in. And I remember to do the recap command. I always forget. So many times, like, hey, welcome to Shadows Over Driftchapel. Recap, and it's like, the day after tomorrow is a game, and I'm like, ah, damn it, no, I forgot. Remember this time. Quick recap. Bing! The last session was downtime. The previous session was also downtime, but it was kind of like fake downtime as we met Rachel's character, Portia. One of the last survivors of the town of Driftchapel. One of the last people to stave off this sort of call of Katu, as it were. Almost didn't stave off the call of Katu, but was brought back to reality thanks to Aminah's concoctions over the week. It's hard to say the word concoctions without putting so much emphasis, bless you, on the cock.
On the penis.
I do that all the time. I'll say concoctions and I'll go concoctions. I put so much emphasis.
It's only natural.
On the wrong syllable.
But we finish up the week of downtime. Kieran made a bunch of bombs. Aminah made some very awesome alchemical creations. And Sludig helped.
I went fishing. I made me some traps.
Yeah, Sludig went fishing. He helped gather some ingredients for Aminah. Did you help Kieran make some bombs too? Or was that mostly
I think I got in the
just
assembly.
Dieter
No,
and
I ended up going
Matthias.
back with Aminah. I got her some supplies.
Yeah, and then tying up a couple, not necessarily totally loose ends, but just putting some finishing touches on things of speaking with the taxidermist, who seemingly will now be making her way out of Driftchapel, due to some little bit of coercion by Kieran to get somewhere safe. And Aminah spoke with Agnes Wood, the local artist, about why the fuck she's still there. And, you know, had a good, nice heart-to-heart about it, the Ortisterium, and the value of a life. But then finally, as the week came to a close, they got all their stuff. They started noticing that the town started getting rained on quite a lot. And a lot, and a lot. Until it was almost a perpetual storm for the last half of the week. And along with that, whether because of the storm or some other kind of force, there weren't nearly as many people wandering the streets. And then after a sort of supernatural cosmic encounter Portia had with the Call of Katu, Portia is now I don't want to say given up because it's like Portia's thing, has given up on lamplighter duty to potentially try to help these folks get to the bottom of it. That's why I did in quotes.
Yeah, I have not given up. Not in the slightest.
Yeah. So even though the town is empty, Portia still does their best to keep the town lit. So now, we'll start with Rachel. Rachel, what's Portia's IHOP order?
Do you know that I actually have the IHOP menu pulled up because I knew?
Me too.
That's such a good idea.
I was like, what the fuck is what else is on the menu other than what I get every single time?
Does Sludig just order like
Cocky
48
pancakes.
eggs?
No, so my thought was just the unlimited pancake special, and then when they say it's not in, he just says yes it is.
I'll pay extra.
Yes, it is.
I'll just buy enough pancakes where it feels like it's unlimited pancakes.
So Rachel,
So
what's Portia's IHOP?
Portia would get the double blueberry pancakes, probably with just as much bacon and toast as possible.
So double
Yes.
blueberry, is the blueberry doubled or is the pancake doubled?
It's blueberry pancakes with blueberries on top. whipped cream.
Oh, okay.
A lot of blueberries.
With blueberry syrup
Yes.
too? Because that's a thing that they have.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I would do that. I mean, Portia would do that. And then
So sweet.
also I don't think you can get like a latte at IHOP.
I know they have
think
like
you just get
flavored iced
coffee.
coffee.
They do like
I have-
seasonal coffees.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like they-
Maybe get a St. Pat. Well, I don't know what season is it in Driftchapel. Shitty.
Well, shitty.
Can you imagine
Full
looking
IP.
across the landscape, the
Drudge
cityscape of
coffee.
Driftchapel, and then you see that IHOP sign over one of the buildings? That big
International
Let's
House of
be honest.
Burgers.
Hang on. It would be a Waffle House.
It would be a Waffle House.
It would-
cultist
Waffle
running the
House.
Waffle House.
Oh, but Portia would have like all of the extremely sugary drinks. Like they drink so much fucking coffee, but it's partly because it's mostly sugar
Yeah.
and chocolate.
It reminds me of when I would go to IHOP with Angel and he would get like a pitcher of iced coffee just for himself. Like the vanilla iced coffee, so it was the really sugary kind. Yeah, he would
Yeah.
do that.
That sounds like Portia also.
Angel is wild at that hot.
Oh my god! Wow.
Portia has like a separate flask on their hip
the
specifically
sugar
for coffee. Drink all hours of the night.
Now, I guess this is a sort of a follow-up question to this general prompt that would go for everyone. Is Portia the type of person that only goes to IHOP at like 1 in the morning, or does Portia go like middle of the day for brunch?
Well, I would think about their job, right? Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
They just finished lamplighting, and
7
IHOP's the only
a.m.
place
They're a
open.
regular. They're a regular. Right at opening. Are they open 20? Is it a 24-hour Waffle House?
They say
IHOP?
they are, but they're not.
Well, they always
Shout out to
expect
the old boot IHOP for saying they were open 24 hours, then closing at 11.
oh man.
But yeah, definitely go at like 1 a.m. But partly because that's when it wouldn't be 1 a.m. but like dawn, and that's when they get off of work. But also just whenever other people go,
Okay.
they're always like, "Hell yeah, let's fucking go, bro! I'm down for some
Yeah,
IHOP.
party at IHOP.
Party at
Nice.
IHOP. Let's do
Okay.
it."
Rachel, choose who goes next.
Oh, Daniel.
All right. I had to do the same thing. I needed to look up the IHOP menu because it has been a hot second since
I
I've
know.
eaten at IHOP.
Well, I only get one thing every time. I always get the
That's 'cause
French
there ain't
toast
none
every
around here.
time.
Oh yeah, there aren't any IHOPs around here. That's why.
Oh, really? I didn't realize it was that
No.
regional. They're international. How come?
They're
They're international.
We don't have nice things here. What can I say? But anyway, so Aminah's IHOP order would probably be. See, I was looking at this and I was hoping that they would have like savory crepes, but it's only just like the sweet crepes. So she'd probably get
Are
like.
you calling them crepes or crepes?
It's crepes.
Both. Both.
Creepy.
Let's
thought you
go
were
to
saying
the
crepes.
compilation.
Can I get a creepy? Creepy paper.
It's crepes.
Creepy
It's
paper.
crepes. It's French.
It's great.
These are your crepes.
Stop sounding trying to sound
Anyway.
smart. Not working.
Add it to the compilation.
Creepy paper.
Our unofficial fifth member, everyone. Anyway, should we get the strawberries and cream crepes? And probably a sensible bowl of fruit with some tea and maybe some bacon just to make sure that she has a little bit of protein in her, but nothing too heavy.
Is this what she's ordering or what you ordering?
Both, okay?
Oh man! Add it to the compilation.
Oh.
I love
For
it.
real though, I'd probably get that too.
I mean, that is a very solid breakfast.
Sounds very good.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's light enough to where like you still feel like you can move afterward. It's not just a pancake
Exactly.
completely soaked
That's
through
not
with
why
syrup.
Portia goes to IHOP.
Portia just needs the calories. Like,
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is. Awesome. All right, Daniel, who's next?
Drew.
So, with my previous plan foiled, there's no unlimited breakfast or unlimited pancakes. So, Sludig, big guy, goes in there and he sees the 1,700 calories to 2,050 calorie big farmhouse breakfast. He says, "That's it for me. That's 4 types of meat, including 2 smoked sausage links, 2 strips of hickory smoked bacon, 2 pork sausage links, 2 pieces of thick cut country ham, 2 eggs, a short stack of pancakes, and 4 pieces of toast."
That's so much.
Oh,
That is so much.
the fact that people actually order that terrifies
And then
me.
he goes over to Waffle House after and orders hash browns all the way.
Oh man.
Smothered, covered, and chunked. That's how you gotta
Yep.
do it.
Yeah.
I know some of those words.
I've only been to Waffle House one time, but it was so memorable. Or wait, maybe twice? I don't know.
I've been far too many times for my
I
own good.
can't remember
Yep,
how many.
and all
times
of them at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's why the like the IHOP like the what time do you go is a very important question because
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I've ever been inside an IHOP when it's light outside. It's always
I
dark.
have, but every single time it was with my grandma.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. 'Cause I've definitely been to Waffle House during the daytime because it's the only place that serves breakfast at like 1 p.m. Whenever you get up.
Mhm.
Oh man. Anyway, all right, Bradley.
And-
what is Kieran's? Oh, Drew, is your order not done?
No, I was everybody else chose, so I was
Oh.
gonna choose Brad.
So yeah, who's next?
He gets to make a choice too.
Yeah.
He's gonna pick Drew. Please pick
Bradley.
me.
Please pick.
Uh,
Cayman. What is his?
hey, so
order?
what is that NPC's name down the road?
What is
I want to know
Dieter
what
get?
it
That
is.
Hey, what is Dieter get? After peering through the menu for a bit, Kieran is going to go. Yeah, he's gonna go with the country fried steak and eggs,
Man,
and he's
culture.
probably gonna go to IHOP at like 4:30 or 5, like an early an early dinner kind of
Yeah.
thing. Because he's off by himself. He's kind of bachelor up, but he's also getting more advanced in years. So he goes to bed with the sun. So might as well get some food in him while he's out in town. Oh, there's an IHOP. I'll just pull in right quick and get some food.
Man, rip.
Sit down at
Winter
a table
Kieran,
by himself.
going to bed at like 5 o'clock and leave.
Yeah, but you get up at like not that early either.
No.
But definitely with a large container of black coffee.
So you are a part of the Bojangles Club.
The Bojangles Club, yeah. Like
Sure.
The Bojangles Club?
That group
at
of old
every
people would always
Bojangles
show
ever.
up,
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
always
no,
this
yeah.
group
bring
of
a
like
cup of
5 or
coffee in
6
the morning.
old men
right at
that
dawn.
show up. Yeah,
Oh, yes.
Do you know why?
I feel like I know
'Cause
the answer, and I
I
feel
know
like
The
it's sad.
music I'm listening to after you said that was like, and I was like, oh god.
It's an unfortunate reason. It's not happy to
Yeah, I think
hear.
it's a sad reason. So.
It's a sad reason. Do you want to hear the sad reason?
I feel as
Sure.
though I should.
because their wives have passed away and no one else is there to make them breakfast in the morning.
Stop. That's so
I used to
sad.
like
That
when I
day,
worked
his
over
heart
the
trained
summers.
3 sizes.
I mean, over the summers in high school and college, when I worked at that summer camp, we would go to a diner every morning for breakfast, and it was always the same groups of old people. And I asked my boss that one day. I was like, "Why is it always these old guys?" He's like, "Well, so and so's there because his wife passed away, and he gets lunch there too, and the ladies will also make him dinner because he doesn't know how to cook for himself." I was like, "Oh my
That's
gosh!"
sad for multiple reasons.
Mhm.
Yikes.
At the bajangle.
Sorry for bringing the mood down.
You just
Okay, that's-
you set the tone. We're there.
Yeah.
That's where Drift Chapel's at.
All right, guys.
I
So we were last time. Yeah. So we ended
Drift
last
Chapel
time.
ASMR.
Yeah, so basically,
Hash browns are very good.
I'm gonna open up this Concord grape jelly packet.
Oh, jeez. Did you get yourself,
Yeah, I don't know
Loki?
why that got me so bad.
Pretty fucking funny.
Oh man,
The Concord grape jelly. Very good.
I like a joke with specificity.
Yes.
Oh man. Speaking of specificity, for the wedding party weekend, we went to this cute little just like country cooking place on our way out of town, and they had apple butter donuts.
They were so good.
But
Stop.
it wasn't like an apple butter glaze, it was apple butter sugar that the donuts had been like pressed into. So it was like
They were like apple donuts
it was like
covered
an apple
in.
cinnamon sugar just completely covering the entire
It was
hot
so
damn,
good.
It was so good.
It was so good.
Do you see my mouth?
I mean,
Like just
I need to go
gushing
see
at the
now.
It was called the Apple House, and I saw it, and I like read like 2 reviews, and I was like, all right, we're going
Because I
here.
don't.
It was so good.
Because apple butter.
It was.
dude, apple butter runs deep in my family.
Same.
The donuts.
Put that shit on
I know.
everything, basically.
Well, every summer, my grandmother and her sisters would get together in West Virginia and make like giant cauldrons of apple butter and give it out to the family. So we'd go out every summer to the apple butter cooking, whatever it was called. I don't remember.
Get
was
a
fun.
biscuit, you split it in half, butter on one side, apple butter on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Sorry, I stepped away. I heard a lot of sirens and then like a really loud noise outside. I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And apparently they are somewhere else. I don't know what the loud noise was, but the sirens are gone.
Stay safe.
yeah, Drew, hide your drugs, hide your weapons,
And my wives,
and your wives.
any kids, they snatching the people up.
Oh my gosh.
What a reference. God damn, we need it. Okay,
Wow.
Need to
Doesn't
fucking
feel
play
like
this
that
game.
so, well, so basically, we had decided last time that you guys were going to go back to the profane chapel, which you had seen had been under some sort of repairs, and it was the sort of the last hub that you had seen that any kind of cultists or anyone of note were gathering at. But before we pick up there, sort of as a final cap, tying a knot onto your downtime, is there any other notes you want to make known, any other final touches you want to add onto your downtime, any final things you want to say or people you want to speak to, like final things before we just jump straight into the chapel, or any like loot or equipment things you want to divvy out, or like straight up anything.
So, the only thing I can think of. Sorry, Daniel. Yours is probably more specific. If you want to
No,
go first.
no, go ahead. I'm still thinking of mine.
So while we had some time, was I able to see the Trawler's Bay Brawlers boat from the top of the lighthouse?
Oh,
with
from
the
top
lookout?
of the lighthouse? Probably
Looking
not.
glass?
At least not in enough detail. You know where it's at, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna wander over there unless I could see activity
Oh,
over there.
gotcha,
I wasn't
gotcha.
gonna make a thing about it.
I'm gonna make a note to bring as much oil as I can carry, seeing as how useful it was last time I fought a scary thing.
Do you
Yeah.
have access to more?
I assume, yeah.
Like, 'cause
absolutely.
I will stock up on some oil. I can carry a lot
Sure.
of stuff, and I have
That is
literally nothing on me. Most
Sure,
of the
I'll give
time.
everybody a portion of oil.
How much is a portion? A
I-
portion
that's-
of oil?
Yeah, a portion of oil.
Ah.
Ha!
Aha!
Oh, man. This is bringing me back to, Logan, when you were playing the Cthulhu game, and there was like green glowing whale oil everywhere. Do you remember? Does anyone remember? It was
Oh,
creepy.
you mean the video
I
game?
remember.
Yeah, the
Yes.
video game. They were like big glass jugs of green
Green whale
like-
oil, yeah.
radioactive whale oil.
I remember the whale oil from Dishonored. You could throw it at people and it would blow up.
Explodes.
That
for
shit was
some
reason.
cool. Because fucking video game.
I mean, you're right, but it never made sense to me. Okay, so what I will say, I don't want to get into too nitty-gritty details about how much oil you can carry. Each container of oil weighs a pound, but presumably it's also a bit chunky, to some degree.
How much is it? Because a
How-
pound, how much? Like how many? Does it say like how
It
many
is a
ounces? or
flask of
something?
oil.
Weighs a pound?
Yeah,
That's a big ass flask.
a pound really isn't that much.
Flask of oil.
Oh.
It's like a liter, though. That is.
When
a
I think of
decent
a flask, I think of like
flask.
little flask.
Yeah, like a pocket flask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Is this more like a
okay.
canteen size thing of oil?
Probably. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
understand their use of the word flask. I would probably called it like, canteen size.
I'll probably have like
Is
water is 8.24 pounds per gallon.
And I will
Cool.
say,
So if somebody can just do that math in their head to see.
So it's about an eighth of a pound if we're equating it to the weight of water, though it's less dense because oil sits on the top.
So it's
and
like
so
2
it's-
ounces.
So it's like 2 cups.
8.
I don't understand.
Oh, wait,
Right,
gallon,
because a
a
gallon
gallon.
has 2 quarts, and
Yep.
there's 2 pints
Gallon
in a
has
quart.
4 quarts. 'Cause it's
4
quart-
quarts?
Because it's quart for like.
'Cause
quarter.
it's
That's right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
I didn't mean for this to really turn into a thing. That was joking about doing that.
So do
It's
we
like
just
a
want to
pint
agree
of
on
oil.
like a quart of oil? That
Yeah.
sounds easy in a thing.
Maybe a pint.
I don't know.
It comes in pints.
Comes in pints.
I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're the lamplighter, and it's because gas lamps and oil lamps are commonplace. It's pretty easy to get your hands on as many flasks as you need.
Oh yeah, the gas containers.
just as
Am I
matter
responsible
of-
for those? Probably.
Sounds like a bomb.
I don't want to like get rid of all of them, but Kamin seemed fairly handy with figuring out.
Ooh.
No, what's your name?
Kieran. It's close.
Kieran.
To Kamin, so it's
Why did I
understandable.
say Kamin?
Yeah, Bradley, you really set yourself up to be
Oh,
called
I did.
Kamen a lot.
Purposefully, actually. I was like, I don't want to deviate my name too far from the original name.
So people
I don't
say
wanna
Kamen
confuse
and feel
people.
bad every session.
Be
Kieran
reminded of my mistakes.
seemed fairly handy with
Water's 8.2.
fucking up that gas can before. So if there's an extra one, which there probably is, I'll let you have a gas can.
Oh my gosh.
One of the replacement ones. And granted, it's just for a lamp, so it's not like a huge ass thing. It's just like a little. It's like this. or
That's
something. I don't know.
that
I don't
is
know how
enough.
gas cans work.
We killed Diver Man with it.
Yeah, and then I'll have like 3 flasks of oil, I guess. And whoever else wants some can take some.
Yeah, I was looking
I'll
at
take
the what else.
I'll say a flask is like kind of like Bradley's water bottle.
So it looks like just by doing a very cursory skim, the equipment packs that come with lanterns typically come with 2 flasks of oil. Since this is a very lantern-heavy world, I'll say that we can assume that each of you has 3 flasks of oil.
Already on us.
Well,
Just as
that's-
being
you have
adventurous.
Because
enough
I have
room
my
for-
bullseye lantern. Okay.
I'll say you have enough
So-
room for those things, unless you want to purposely get rid of some of your stuff.
I mean, Sludic doesn't really have weapons to carry around or anything, so I just figured his backpack he might actually carry once
It's
a day if he
all
has extra. It's just like oil,
I mean,
cloth,
Leaking
oil,
out everywhere.
cloth.
Staining
Throw your
everything
entire
forever.
backpack as a firebomb.
What are you talking about? Just run in there, hug him, light myself on fire?
Oh my
Don't
god.
give me ideas, Drew.
But yeah, I'll have, if I can carry 3 regularly and I'm a freaking lamplighter, I'll go ahead and say that I have like 6 on me
Makes
for
sense.
lamplighting purposes and also setting things on fire purposes.
I'll have my normal 3 and 2 extra in my backpack. A
Do
reasonable
I
number.
have healing potions? Should I have healing potions?
No?
Okay.
Unless people have some that they want to.
I have 1.
I don't know if I don't think I have
yeah, 'cause
any.
I think they made a few during downtime, but
I don't think as a regular ass lamplighter I typically need a healing potion. But also I know that they're not as common in Driftchapel.
I can
Because of
heal
this
myself, so
mechanics.
I will give Portia one of my healing potions.
That's so nice of you, thank you. Is it a normie one?
It is a normie one.
Okay. Bjorn!
Say hi.
Boy.
such a
He
good
does not
boy.
want to.
Good looking.
Yep.
Also, as a note, if your sanity die has gone down,
It goes back up.
It goes back up too. It goes back up 1 size.
I'm back where I started.
I put that. Mine. I don't remember if it went down.
Thank you.
I know it's a D8 though. Is that down?
What is your wisdom or charisma?
My charisma is 11. My wisdom is 15.
Yes, that's
Yes,
right.
you have a
You're good.
D8.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Any other thoughts, comments? Yes, Daniel.
Okay, so I was trying to figure out a way how to word this elegantly, but for a lack of like finding the exact words, I'll just sort of describe what I want to do. As part of my background as sage, one of the things that comes with like my collection of items is a letter from a dead colleague posing a question you have not been able to answer.
Yeah.
And for a lack of like being able to write one up on the spot, I'm just going to say that it is based on Aminah's backstory. It is from her old headmaster, who was like the one person who like originally believed that like she could actually like attend the Ordisterium, and who saw right through her like disguise to like get in. And you're like, she's good people. And like before, because he died like way long ago. He was like super old, like even when Aminah was super young. And so she's been holding on to this like little philosophical puzzle that like she hasn't even really been able to figure out. And on this piece of paper, she's gonna scribble at the bottom a note for Agnes, and she's gonna say something along the lines of, again, I wanted this to be like so flowery and wordy, but basically just like, yo, go do your own thing. Don't be tied down by anyone, even if it's the Ordisterium, and just be kind to yourself and other people and all that, because there's not a whole lot of that in the world. And she's gonna like tie all that up. She's also going to include in that little bag the 2 good berries from her sister.
Oh, that's right. You
and-
gave me like little berries.
And I'd say probably maybe also like 3 gems that she picked up. So and instead of just like straight up giving it to her, she's gonna like snap one of the bolts and like post it on Agnes's door.
Oof. You didn't even use any flowery things and still made me like, oh, my heart.
The goblet of fire.
Did you want to call the fire?
Aminah!
I thought that was pretty
He
funny.
said calmly.
He said calmly.
Jesus.
So yeah, that's all.
Okay. Sweet. Any other final stuffs before we jump into it?
I shoot Dieter.
Really?
I mean, you could.
You're good. I was gonna
Just
ask,
shoot him in the leg or
do
something.
you want Dieter to come with you in your investigating exploration? Or do you want him to stay
Do I-
behind with Matthews at the leg?
Do I want him to? No.
I feel as though he'd be more useful for Matthias. Matthias only has a claw. You know, and this gives Dieter a chance for some character development to not flee.
Stay in the
Things
lighthouse
get
and
bad
think
up
about
there.
what you've done.
You're in
Lock
timeout,
him in
mister.
there.
He will accept this duty gracefully.
Dieter duty. Sorry.
That was real fast.
We are having a time.
It just sounds funny.
Yeah, it's
Dieter
been a
duty.
while.
Dieter duty duty.
Been a
duty.
while.
Okay. So, if there's nothing else, I have to pee, so I'm gonna go pee. Does anyone else need to go refill or go do things?
No.
Alright, then I'll leave you guys running. Feel free to chat.
Oh,
So, what's your character's Waffle House, or as the same? Basically.
oh god.
Oh golly, now I have to.
I haven't been to Waffle
menu.
House enough times to know.
Bacon, chicken, cheese, baby. That's actually like not my order. I used to go all the time as a
Go back to hell. Quote Santa. Amazing.
we used to go all the time in high school, and we discovered that on the parts of the menu that people don't normally order from at Waffle House, there was a sandwich called the bacon, chicken, cheese. I'll let you guess what was on the sandwich.
Bacon, and chicken, and cheese.
There you go.
Was it a Kraft single cheese?
Oh yeah.
That's what surprised me
Um,
the most, I think, when I first went to Waffle House and I got the whatever bowl. Then there was just literally just a
Slice
Kraft
of
single
cheese on
the
it.
top. I was like, oh, I mean, I know that they said they were gonna put cheese on it. I
They
didn't
don't kid
expect
around.
Literally,
I could have done that.
Kraft single, yeah.
That's honestly that's Waffle House in a nutshell. The only thing they have is the waffle iron. Everything else you could just do at home, but you don't.
Yeah. But you
You
don't.
don't have a waffle iron, so here you
Yeah.
are.
And like, ain't no
I should
joke,
get
those
one.
waffles slap. Those are
They
good
do.
waffles.
They do.
Like,
Do
I
I
don't think I've
regret
ever
my
been-
decision every time a couple hours later? Yes. I do. But Waffle
I
House
told-
was there for me when few other restaurants were.
I think the last
When
time I
we-
went. Oh, go ahead, Bradley.
I was when we were on tour of an envelope way back in what 2017.
Classic.
We stopped at the Waffle House in like Greensboro area because our gig got canceled because of the snow. And I told Logan beforehand, there's only one thing that that I could get from a Waffle House that will upset my stomach, and that is hash brown with cheese on them. So we sit down there at the Waffle House, and that's exactly what I order. And as soon as I finished, Logan looked at me. He's like, "What have you done?" And I said, "Oh no!" And then they showed up, and they didn't put cheese on them. We both looked at it. Was like, that was a sign from God.
Totally
man.
forgot about that.
Oh
It's fun
man,
time.
that and like when you sit down, the menus are like wet,
Oh yeah,
and the table
'Cause
is
they-
wet.
because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just
they didn't
sprayed
like
it
the
down
menu.
real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they put down a napkin like they're gonna put your silverware on it, but then they just end up like throwing it on
Just
the
throw it
table
next to
anyway.
it.
Oh.
I love Waffle House.
Oh man, you work to just. So have you been to Waffle House, Nobushi? I've only been once,
Yeah, it was-
and I always thought it was
Oh,
like
never
trash
been.
food, and it is trash food, but it's very good trash food.
It's
Mhm.
Southern comforting.
Yeah.
It's
Never been.
very
Never been.
comforting.
I recommend it, but only when you have the time to take like a 2-hour nap afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely
Accurate.
don't.
Or just go to bed.
Don't go by
Exactly.
yourself.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say don't go with a party of less than 3,
But no more
I
than
feel like-
4 because then you have to sit at separate
Be
booths.
different table.
Right.
Like you and one other person chilling out
Yeah.
at a booth at Waffle House. It's
I
okay, but like
remember.
being rowdy.
Oh man. I remember one of my good friends when both of us went to App. She lived in an apartment that was literally next door to the Waffle House.
Yeah.
And boy howdy, memories. Mwah, mwah.
I can imagine. Oh my gosh.
But then they started
Ugh.
raising the prices because you used to be able to get like an all-star platter for like $7 or less, and now it's
Yeah.
like $9. Ugh.
Inflation.
Quality's gone down.
Costs go up. I know it's
Yeah.
like, before I would spend $7 on this, but $9? This isn't worth $9.
And like if your Waffle House cook doesn't have a cigarette in their ear, you're at the wrong Waffle
Yeah.
House. Your food.
Where's the secret sauce? Where's the extra spice, man?
Just cigarette and
Yeah.
eggs.
Thanks.
I saw a
Love it.
TikTok once of like a rich white middle class person going to Waffle House for the first time, and like all their reactions being like everything that we just said.
Oh, and they're like, oh, the
"Are they
food's good, right?
smoking
Like, no.
in
Oh, so it's the atmosphere. No. And they're like,
No.
oh, so everything's super
No.
clean. No.
no, it's all bad.
It's the
And that's
best
what
place
makes
to
it
have a
good.
bad experience.
Yes.
Branding right there. Trademark that.
At Waffle House with one F because the sign's burned out.
Waffle House.
Waffle House, sponsor us.
Waffle House. Lose. It's French, actually.
Crip.
Yeah, can I get some
Good
crepes at the Waffle House? They probably slap you.
Oh, I've definitely
This
been
ain't no
there-
bougie ass IHOP.
I've definitely been there with people who are like, "Can I get a pancake?" And then the waitress always says
Like,
something.
Excuse me, where do you think you at? Pancake from Waffle House.
Oh God,
Classic.
we're never gonna play D&D.
No,
My
we shouldn't.
face hurts from smiling. Also, I'm sorry I'm yawning so much. I
How
worked
Dare
a lot
you.
today.
It's okay.
So, we will pick up at the chapel mid-morning, even though you probably wouldn't be able to tell because of all the rain and clouds overcast in the sky right now. You're sitting there, rain coming down, rolling off of many of your waterproof coats and hats and whatever else you typically use to wick away some of the frequent moisture around this area. But, you're standing somewhere near the profane chapel. I don't know if you want to do some kind of sneaky approach or just walk straight up, but you can see it up ahead as it appears most often during the day. Very dark, very quiet, very still. But as Kieran had noticed previously, that it, in some time in the past week or so, some repairs have been made to it, doors been fixed, maybe a window boarded up. But otherwise, it seems fairly lifeless.
Does it
What
still
did you-
have a hole in the roof?
So it didn't have a full-on hole, but there are like bits of shingle missing, bits of the rafters that have fallen through. So there are a couple sort of like pockmarked holes, but no massive crater or anything.
Okay.
What did you guys do last time?
Oh, well, we found a deranged, mentally ill person in the bell tower, handcuffed his right hand to his left leg behind him, and then tied a rope to that and tossed him down the stairs.
He was very
Why would you
forthcoming
do
after
that?
That's a
Because
good question. You should ask them.
You half hog-tied this person and threw them down the stairs. Lyra!
Down like the center shaft.
So is this
that-
Rachel asking or is this Portia asking? Because that will determine if Drew gives the answer or if Sludig gives the answer.
Both.
'Cause it'll come with
Both.
different words.
Both.
This person, they were after the idol that you were after. All they were doing was making copy after copy, deranged beyond repair. These people, they have taken much from myself, this city, all the small settlements around Driftchapel. This was a man beyond saving. He knew much, but was not forthcoming with his answers. And if you look around, we don't have time for coddling and our questioning. He would speak if he lived. He was going to be left alive, but Kieran in his mercy made the suffering short.
So wait, did you get the information from him? Or no?
So
Or did you
he
just
pretty
kill him
much just
because-
He was bonkers.
he was bonkers. We got very little out of him other than the fact that he was just constantly trying. Sorry, there's this banging going on upstairs. I don't know if it's like the.
Nice.
Oh no, it's someone's either moving in or moving out, and I can't tell if it's like
They're moving in.
Exactly.
and moving out.
Yum.
No. Very little information was gained from this person, other than the fact that they were trying to summon an entity fully known as Sathog, the Flesh Spawn, which is that big fleshy
Flesh?
thing in the mayor's office. I assume.
Is it
Yeah.
still there? Because I remember when that
We
happened
killed
and
it
it was
like
not a
3
good time.
times, and so we don't know.
That's not very reassuring. You keep talking about holes in the chapel. Did you guys make these holes?
Oh no.
No.
At least I don't
Can I
think
do a
we
vibe
did.
check?
I like
I
that Daniel
believe
thought I
them.
was like, I don't think we did.
I mean, the fact that all three of you said no makes me believe you. Because otherwise, at least one person would have been like,
I did not. If they did before I joined this company, I cannot
We
say.
did break a portion of the floor, though. It was covered in this big rune stone that was meant to be like a channeling point for Sathog, and we destroyed the floor where it was.
And we planted a bomb.
So there may be extra holes now.
has this explosive gone off? Do you know?
I'm inclined to say yes.
Okay. Okay. Also, can we stop saying that flesh guy's name? Because I worry that
If you look in the
bad
mirror
things will
and say it
happen.
one more time, he's going to show up behind you.
Exactly.
Right.
I would prefer not to do that.
him
He who
Mayor
shall not be
Horace.
named.
All of those things are great. Perfect. Where are we, DM?
Somewhere near or outside the chapel, however close you would want to be.
I would like to think that it's close enough to see, but far enough to where if we want to make the stealthy option, we haven't missed that opportunity.
Lurking behind a building, peeking around the
Pretty
corner every now and
stealthy.
again.
Scooby-Doo peek around the corner.
So can we look?
Yeah, it looks like it almost always does. Very quiet.
We don't see
very
any
dark.
movement inside.
No, no movement, no lights. And because of how much overcast there is, there's not a whole lot of shadows being created. So, Kieran, you cannot necessarily see as before, where you saw that gentleman swinging in one of the windows and mid a lightning strike. This time, it's all very cloudy, and so you can't clearly see any shadows.
2 questions.
Mhm.
1, is it actively raining right now?
Yes.
Like raining, not like misting.
Yes.
Okay. So that will help with stealth.
Mhm.
And 2, didn't you say it was like daytime right now?
Mhm.
And didn't we plan to do this at nighttime?
I think we
you would-
said we were waiting for date.
Because at night, theoretically, is when
There's
things happen.
monsters.
The creepy
Right, I thought we were
crawlers.
gonna look at that happening. So I thought we were gonna go during the nighttime to go look at the things that are happening.
We can scout out the place before they get there, get a lay of the land, and then come back.
What if we find a good hidey hole and then we could just hide?
Plant more bombs.
Yeah.
Play phase 10 while we wait. Or Uno.
We do
Egyptian
have all
rats.
these extra casks of oil on us. That's a little explosive.
Oh, I was like, I thought you were trying to say something that we do in the meantime, like to fill our time.
Yeah,
I was
just,
like-
we can light ourselves on fire, have some fun.
There's so many things, so many ways. I was like, did you want to like drink the oil? Did you want to?
You gotta
There's
lick
just a
the
lot of
oil.
Oil. You gotta date the oil. You gotta marry the oil. You gotta be the oil.
So we
Next
don't see
Eldritch
anything
Horror.
happening in there.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Who is the stealthiest of the group?
We all look
I
at
have-
Aminah.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a
That's fine, but I
situation
figured.
where we both go me at the same time.
I'm Dexy, but I did not take proficiency in stealth.
I mean, I was of the mind, because I was asking about the roof, to like climb up there and see like if I could just peer down and see what's going on in there.
There's definitely enough, like, you know, couple
Peepholes.
6-inch to a foot-size holes spread out across the roof that you could easily walk across, peer in, walk to another
Can-
one, look through.
I apologize if this is insensitive, Aminah. Please tell me if so. But do your extra appendages make it easier for you to climb?
Not currently.
Okay.
Not currently.
I have second
Okay.
story work.
I mean, it's neither a hindrance nor a help right now.
Okay. Cool. I was just curious to
No
see if
worries.
that could be used to an advantage.
No worries.
I was thinking that someone scout ahead and be like, "Oh, are there actually people in there?" So I figured the stealthiest person would be
Right.
good to do that.
Well, I mean, I was going to want to do that anyway, so if nobody objects, then I want to like sneak my way up on the roof and just see what I can peer through the holes in the roof.
Before you bounce, we gather up right quick and just kind of go over the plan and what we're talking about, what we're doing today. And I would like to use my inspiring leader feature.
There's one last item on the
so,
agenda before we convene the meeting.
Temporary hit points equal to my level plus my charisma modifier. So everybody gets 13 temporary hit points.
Wow.
Yeah.
13 temp,
Thanks.
baby.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So inspiring.
That's me.
I feel like Kieran has the vibes of like, he doesn't compliment people often, but whenever it's like, hey, who's gonna stealth up? And he looks at me and says, you've got it. It's like, oh, he has faith. Oh my gosh, he's proud of me. His faith in me? How inspiring.
If I can not screw up, Kieran said I could do this.
Okay. Anything else before Aminah slinks away? So Aminah slinks away. Easy enough. The church sits, or the chapel sits, sort of at the edge of the town, straight up on a cliff that overlooks the ocean, just like a steep drop. The only thing that separates the chapel from the cliff is this iron fence that wraps around the entire yard with a sort of gate opening. The main path cuts through that main gate. There's not too many other optional areas of approach, especially because there's a yard separating that from the chapel. But also there's so much brush and tall grass in the yard. It's a little bit noisy of an approach, just because of the nature of walking through all this overgrown yard.
It's rainy though,
And it's
and everything
rainy.
is wet, so it
Uh-huh.
doesn't crunch as much.
You squish.
Yeah.
Mush.
First,
I'm thinking in video game terms when it's raining, you have you better at stealth because there's noise.
noise, a little bit of a shield, can't see too far out. But fairly easily enough, and because of the construction of this old chapel, by the time you get up through the brush, up to the side, there's plenty of handholds on these old windows and loose bricks and everything else that, with ease, and maybe a little more ease than expected because of some newfound spitiness about yourself, you climb up with grace up to the rooftop and are able to peer through and look. Go ahead. First, make a perception check for me, Daniel.
Okay. That's gonna be 26.
So a lot of things. As Kieran noted, there have been some repairs made. Where Kieran had busted up the lock on your way out, that has been fixed. Where some of the windows had been blown out due to whatever explosive Kieran planted, those have been somewhat covered up. The inside, as you peer through a couple of the holes, looks mostly the same. The northeastern hall. The God, what's the main room of a church called?
The audience.
Sanctuary?
The sanctuary.
Sanctuary. The sanctuary, where a lot of the benches have been cleared out and pews had been pushed off to the side, and where the hole in the floor was, is much bigger. A lot of the rubble and floor has fallen through down into the waterways below. And due to the nature of the explosion, a lot of stuff has been blown around as well, and sort of been revealed as a lot of this stuff has been just completely dislodged and blown about. And also some new vandalisms. You notice that on these statues of whatever goddess this chapel was devoted to, there's now been painted in what might be blood, what might be paint, or some kind of grease. Phrases like Katu rises, and she's here, just kind of painted along these statues and vandalizing them. But with a 26 perception, and you are a smart lady, I'm not even have you roll for this. There's something about the states of these rooms and the outside that sort of, it strikes you as strange. They worked hard to repair the outside, but the inside is still in distress. Even the ritualistic circles that Sludig messed up are just as they were. They have not been repaired, haven't been fixed. So there's almost something deceptive about the repairs to the outside. And you start to do a little bit more peeking around and looking. And you notice that there is a string tied to the inside of the front door. And leads up and up into the bell tower.
Pikachu meme.
You want to keep climbing and see where it leads?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Wait, what? About halfway up, in your history of exploring old places, you've seen some pretty eloquently made traps and protections on old tombs and dungeons and things like that. This is crude as fuck. It's clever, but it's crude. Basically, all it is one long string that eventually transitions into a rope. But where the string is, about halfway up, there has been essentially a blade wedged into the bricks or like on the platform. And so that when the door is pulled open, the string is pulled along the blade and it's cut. It's a very simple idea, very crudely done, but it gets the job done. And then you sort of start thinking, what's it connected to? And you climb up a little bit more, look through some of the gaps, and one, the body is gone of Finch, who is hanging. And what they've done is basically taken the chain that the old bell was clinging to, that has been hammered to look like the little idol you have. The chain has been tied off to the rope, which has now been transitioned to a string. And so when that string scrapes along the blade and the string is cut, the whole bell falls down. But the way that it has been tied off, it looks like it'll almost swing down. So it'll almost basically just smash into the door as it hits the sort of stair landings. It'll come down and it's like a hammer at the door. So again, very simply put together, but it gets the job done.
Right. Okay. So then, obviously take notes of all that and scurry on back down and basically said, the front door is not an option we want to take.
10-4, good buddy. Is there another way?
There is no back door, but you imagine with some, strength and a crowbar, you can pry up some of the roof and slip down through.
You mentioned that some of the windows that were blown out were covered by something. Is it like wood or like a tarp? Okay.
Not even just wood, like old rowboat planks. So they're real old and splintered. So
Okay,
yeah, you
but it's
could
not
probably
gonna
just
be
grab them
quiet.
and just snap them like a wafer.
Now I want Kit Kats.
I want those cheap wafer cookies that had like cream in the middle that aren't covered
yeah.
in chocolate. I don't know
Hell
what
yeah.
they're called. They're fucking good.
There's something about that texture.
It's like cardboard, but it
But
tastes
sweet. Vanilla cardboard
good. Vanilla cardboard.
with icing.
The icing is what.
That's what
tells me.
vanilla envelope should have been called.
Vanilla cardboard.
It's not too late. Reunion
When the
tour.
band gets back together.
Vanilla cardboard.
Jesus.
So what are we thinking? Do we go in through the roof, climb down a rope? Is that a sort of trap you think?
There's
you could
no
disable?
one in there.
Didn't
Not
see
that I
them.
could see.
And there's no other traps other than the front door.
Well, that's the only way a reasonable person, like someone who's not infected by whatever is going on here, would enter the chapel. Obviously, the fish people are going to go up through the hole, and the cultist people probably with them. But if us normal folk go poking around, that's where we would come in.
I guess. I'm down to try the roof or a window, but Sludik is right. It's probably, both ways will be loud. It'll make some noise.
I wonder. Sorry, I need to look up something real quick to make sure that this is what I wanted to do.
Lyra's being real cute right now. She's been sitting on my desk for like at least 10 minutes now, just loafing, and I'm just giving her chin scritches.
Loaf.
She's just gently purring. She's resting her head on my hand. It's very good.
I wonder, because I have thaumaturgy, which can do any sort of
Sounds
lots of things that could help us, get there a little less, a little more inconspicuously. I wonder if, I can do it to where it says you can cast harmless tremors on the ground for a minute and sort of fake an earthquake.
Sure, could do that, yeah.
I mean,
I'm down for that.
that would give us a good cover, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Totes.
if no objections, I say whichever, if we want to do window or roof, we'll do that to make sure that we are get some sort of cover.
I would feel safer going through a window because then we can't fall much farther down.
True.
You
very
could,
true.
you'd even, in the spell description it says, because it's storming, you can make a rumble of thunder. So you could even do that over whatever sounds you're making to try and cover that.
We will do that then.
Hell yeah, brother. Let's do it.
So, trying to time it with Aminah's rolls of thunder, Sludig wants to take a big enough section of that wooded up window and rip it out so we can climb through.
I was expecting you to use your lightning knuckles, so that way you can punch lightning and thunder strikes. But
No.
No.
No. It'd be cool, then,
It would be cool, but I don't want to start something.
Easy enough. Like breaking through a Kit Kat.
Stop saying that.
It's like that meme of the Cheeto and the little latch lock.
The Cheeto lock.
Yeah.
That has been used a lot in this campaign. That was the beginning, the like first episode, like going in the inn and Cheeto locking our doors shut.
I remember. Comes full circle, baby.
Oh my god. Wow.
Okay, that's awesome.
Did you guys start at level 1?
No.
You started at level 3.
Yeah.
8?
Oh.
Yes, 8 or 9.
I think we started at 8.
Yeah.
Oh, level 8. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It would take you forever to get to level 10. You started at level
They
1.
started at level 1, and then after the first session, I said, "All right, level 8."
I don't think we would have made it through at level 1. I think
No.
we would have died.
I would like to hop through the window
Hmm.
and crouch.
Boing?
I would like to not
Save
make
a
a
little.
lot of noise, because I assume you can only time so much with the thunder.
Can I assist Sludig in trying to be quiet as we dismantle this? By like
Oh, I
pointing
thought it
out-
was dismantled.
Oh, we got it open
Well, I
already?
hopped through the window, yeah.
That's true, yeah. So yeah, we're good.
Or
then.
maybe you just
Oh,
took, like,
I
one
was
plank
I
off.
was meaning about my I was meaning about landing inside or
Gotcha.
climbing in quiet.
Gotcha.
I just want to hop.
However, it probably would have been smart. Ability roll.
You'll be okay because of generally you all are dexterous and have quick reflexes. So if you want to time it to rumbles, you can. And also, it's just climbing through a window. You guys have done much worse. Drew, Sludig grappled an Eldritch Horror like a week ago.
I did.
So you climb through a window. Now roll initiative. The window snaps down.
Fuck.
It eats you.
Window
mimic.
mimic.
Window mimic. Fuck.
Actually, it's just
Oh,
a chapel
God.
mimic. It's a whole church.
The whole thing is a mimic.
Everybody get your oil
Right,
out.
so I grapple it.
That's not the worm. It's its tongue.
I'm imagining Sludig like on the steeple, like holding the end, like.
Submit. Tap man.
Oh man.
Oh god. So, yes, you all land very deftly in the sanctuary of the chapel. Now let me read a couple things here. As a reminder, especially because Rachel has never been in the chapel. Portia
True.
probably went to church as a youngling.
Probably.
I feel like that's what everyone does in Drift Chapel as a kid.
Stops by occasionally.
Yeah, and then they go to IHOP after.
Exactly.
But as Portia would definitely know, this temple has long been abandoned. No one has worshipped whatever gods it's devoted to for decades and decades. And inside, there's all these frescoes and murals that are peeling, fading, and just completely falling apart. And now most of which had been vandalized to some degree, whether it's some kind of paint smears, oil smears, or full-on writing. Now, of course, as we have noted, holes in the ceiling. So there's still a lot of rain and stuff coming in, a lot of mist collecting in this this whole chapel. And because of, as Aminah noted, sort of missing bricks and holes in the windows and all sorts of stuff, because of the unnatural storms that have been coming through and that are happening now, you realize you're having to talk a little bit louder over the wind as it whistles through a lot of these gaps within the chapel. So you find yourself just talking more, probably a little louder than you would be comfortable doing, as it's very high-pitched and loud. But as Kieran, immediately you notice that your explosive worked. There's now a much bigger hole in the floor, and it has definitely thrown stuff about this room. It has moved some of the furniture that was littering this place around, revealed some pages of whatever old religious texts that have been lost and stuck to the floor due to just being wet for so long. Yes. And then finally, looking down into that now bigger hole, before it just dropped down into the waterway below you that feeds all through Driftchapel. But this time, you still see the waterway, but since the hole has opened up even more, you see that parts of where it collapsed have fallen in and fallen onto a slimy, algae-covered stone ledge, a path, like you have seen previously deep within the waterways elsewhere, like in the bog. And so it seems as though, as you had thought, cultists and townsfolk and whoever were also using this waterway, not just fish folk swimming up and down. And because of the collapse, it's now more accessible to you all.
Do we feel like entering now while there's a chance that things may be quiet down there? Or should we wait till nightfall when, well, we know this place is at least busy?
I'm not exactly one for big on underwater adventures.
It's funny because
We ourselves have had bad times down there. These tunnels are treacherous places.
Well, my the firearms I have won't function after a trip under any type of water.
Very understandable. And Aminah is going to. Does the statue have arms? Like
Sure.
the main. Okay. Aminah is gonna like very cheekily just like start climbing up the statue and then like, you know, lay hammock style in the arms of the statue, crossbow cocked and like pointing straight down there. It's like, we know they're coming out there. We might as well get comfortable.
Aminah's camping!
Got my tactical insertion set up behind me.
Put a claymore down.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the plan, that's the plan. I would probably do a scout the rest of the chapel.
I'd like to more closely investigate that bell tower.
I was gonna say, do you think we can rig this trap here to make the bell fall into the hole when they enter?
They're in
That's too
sort
big
of
I don't think
separate
fit-
sections. Yeah.
We could build a convoluted ramp system.
Using all of these planks.
It would take several weeks, but we could do it.
Jesus.
Excuse me.
Unfortunately, I don't believe the trap could be moved. However, it would make for a good lure. If we could set off the trap, make them think that we're here at the front door. They come out to finish us off or see what they've gotten in their snare, and we finish them off. Spring the trap, which will spring our trap.
Not a half bad idea.
I like it.
Whatever draws those hooligans out of the water. I don't know. I was
Like you were gonna say something else.
Those damn fish people.
I
Ruin
just
the
want to
Driftchapel.
do a quick scout around the sanctuary and eventually the rest of the chapel, just to kind of pick a little bit, get my bearings, see if anything else interesting is had some planks fallen on it or it's hiding in the corner or something.
the main things, investigating the sanctuary a bit more, you do notice that some of the pages that have been lost and crushed underneath things have been either
Bless you.
revealed or hidden once again. Some of them still have a bit of writing on them, and a few of the smaller busts and statues will have a little bit of writing at the bottom from what hasn't been vandalized. You sort of have the experience of like when you hear about someone you went to elementary school with for the first time in like a decade, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that person. You have that experience as you start reading about who this chapel was once devoted to, specifically a sea goddess named Aliana.
The bitch queen? Oh, okay.
Well, kind of the bitch queen. Maybe a nice version of the bitch queen.
Well, then it's not the bitch queen.
Then it's not the bitch queen. But it's sort of just like almost like a memory lane kind of thing. Of like, oh, I remember this story. Yeah. And so it's just a little bit of memory lane for a bit. But of course, so few people worship that god anymore because it's generally believed that the gods are gone. They all left. They abandoned. Everything is, everyone's doomed kind of thing. So it's almost just like this little piece of archaic lore. But besides that, a lot of things of note have been either taken, scrubbed away, whatever else, or vandalized.
Okay.
I assume you and Kieran both stepping into the bell tower sort of foyer area. You can see this sort of
Sorry.
crude.
Lyra stood up and she's laying under the mic arm. So she stood up and went into my mic. Baby. Keep talking, I'm sorry.
You can see the crude trap that they had set up for whoever comes through the door. Presumably you, because you're the ones foiling them. But kind of creeping your way up, there's a little bit more coverage in the bell tower, so it's a little bit darker. And Kieran, you may recall this feeling from the first time you're in here. There's just an eerie feeling of this bell tower, and you recall all the different like idols and eyes carved into things up top. And same for you, Portia. You feel this weird sense of like someone's here. Someone's listening and watching us, but by the time you creep your way up, you make it to the top. There are no carved idols up here anymore, because there were all sorts of ones made of wax and stone and wood, whatever else. They're all gone except for the big bell one that's up there now.
So the bell looks like the idols?
I think, yes. So what I had said previously was like, basically it was a bell, but then over time, they have hammered at it and tried to meld it and warp it, probably taking years of work to do, to have some of those images of like tentacles and eyes and things. So it's still somewhat bell-shaped, but it's definitely been bent and tinted.
Yikes. I hate that. To bring back the quote from last session. I hate that. Thanks, I hate it.
But otherwise, things are as the party last saw them. Even down to the 1 or 2 missing bricks that Sludig pried up from the floor. Destroyed.
Is the clapper still in the bell?
I'd probably say no. It makes sense that since it's not an active chapel in traditional sense, that they wouldn't want to call people to it.
Well, and like every time they hammer it to alter it, the clapper hang bits inside of it.
I mean, if they hammered it, it would still ring.
It would still ring out.
That's true. They used the clapper to hammer the sides of it.
Big brain.
Oh.
Does it, based on my trip up the bell tower, where I'm at now and the size of the bell, if and when the trap is triggered, does it look like it would make the bell tower collapse, or would it just drop the bell out of the tower?
Make an investigation check.
Can I help him?
Sure. To investigate sort of the structural integrity of everything.
Yeah.
That is an 18, thanks to my assistance.
Lyra. You're sitting on my mouse.
Silly.
Clicked into
That's-
a different window.
That's the wrong mouse, cat.
So there's sort of like
Oh,
you're certain about one part, uncertain about the other. So the way they have it rigged up, like I said, it's sort of they've sort of re-tied it off at sort of the top of the edge of one of the platforms, and so when it falls, it'll kind of hit that point and swing down and hit the door. So in that sense, because it is a fairly weak platform that's not meant to hold the weight of the bell, it'll definitely rip the platform down. So that's a definite certain thing that would happen. But because the platform is so built into the tower itself, and the tower is weak, there's a chance that it could pull the tower down on top of it. It's not as certain as the platform getting yanked down, but it's a definite possibility, especially if you wanted to go out with some tools and weaken it in certain areas. Or vice versa, if you want to try and bolster, but that'd probably take a lot more work.
So. Remind me of the geography of this building so that I make sure I'm thinking of this correctly. Big rectangular sanctuary area with where the hole is kind of towards the front.
If you look at Albert Rodeo, you can look at it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it changed, and I thought Lyra pressed something. I was like, what are you sitting on now?
Oh my
Jesus.
gosh.
Are you leaving?
Oh sweet.
Oh, she's gone.
Ooh.
I can-
Okay.
I don't like that you have a whole ass
Yeah,
map
and
for
so
this.
basically where this is an older version of the map, so the hole's not accurate, things like that. But yeah, where that kind of ritual scarring is in the floor, basically just directly above that, is roughly where the bell is.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Oh.
Could I feasibly weaken the tower in a certain spot that would cause it to collapse towards the hole and the rest of the chapel and just destroy the whole chapel?
You could just rig the ceiling with explosives so that when it falls, it
But then I'd
triggers
have
those.
to waste my explosives. I'll let gravity do my work for me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's okay to say
yeah,
no.
with enough time you probably could, because you're a tinker to tools kind of guy, right?
Yeah, not a mason.
I would say it'd probably be more in the line of like mason stuff or even carpenters to like try and hit some of that wooden like supports to it. But you also have 4 people with you, or 4 people total, so you can, get to work at it. You just don't know how long it might take. Because I
I'll
mean,
keep that-
anyone can go up to something with a hammer and
Smack it.
knock out that brick and knock out that brick.
I'll keep that thought just tucked away for now. Maybe. Maybe.
Any other plans while you wait and camp?
Should I have a token on the map?
Oh, I guess.
Might help.
Here's the compass.
I'm a
Rachel, I'm gonna
compass.
give you this cross swords fighter token that was originally for Charmed Watch.
Is that a
Actually,
fight?
Rachel, do you want an
I'm a
art
monk.
token? Oh, do you want
Yeah!
to be 60 feet wide?
Yeah!
Thank you, ma'am. There's a Portia token.
Hey!
Sweet.
Oh, that's the like official art. Yeah, of course. Hell yeah, brother.
Love it.
Yeah, brother.
Yes, I can put this
Nice.
on the stream.
I guess.
I suppose.
I would like to find a relatively stable spot. Where's the laser pointer one? Like, are these posts? Can I like sit on top of them in the rafters and like be able to jump down onto somebody? Okay, I'm gonna perch up there.
Before we all move to wherever it is we're moving to, let's see. Kieran already has ranged weapons, so he's fine here. Aminah is going to go over to Portia and then Sludig and slap a
their
matched
butts.
flint. Slap their butts, yes. And then afterwards, she's going to give them each a matched flintlock pistol with some ammo.
Hey!
Aww.
Now I have 2 of those? Because don't I have a pistol? Loki?
And actually,
So
Is it
do
a
I-
flintlock pistol?
Which end do I hit people with?
He's just gonna be hit me with the butt of the gun. Okay.
Nah.
That's,
And then it goes
Kamin's
off and
pistols,
shoots you.
Yeah, I think those are the ones that you
right? We got from
from the
Aveline.
lady, Aveline, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, so I just think it's funny how you guys really haven't used very many names in front of Portia. And every time I think you're about to say someone's name, you don't. Because there's part of me that's like, do they not remember the name? And I'm like, Portia will definitely remember the name. And I'm wondering if they're purposely not saying the name so they don't get in trouble.
Not been on purpose. Just
Okay.
haven't thought about it.
Cool. Sweet. I'm gonna go toilet cat. Does anyone else have toilet cat?
I have a cat.
I probably need to stand up.
Yeah.
I'm getting sleepy. I'll go get something that has caffeine.
Well, bye everyone else.
Sorry.
Now that it's just us important people.
Well, I'm gonna get up also. I'm sorry.
Oh well, fine. Exactly. Just the important
You
people.
host this.
me. Okay, everybody. It's my turn now. I don't know what to do. So, the thing about an oboe is they are very small. This is the upper joint of an oboe, but I took all the keys off of it. As you can see, it is rather small, but especially the bore of said oboe. Look at that tiny little hole. All of the air that you play the instrument with goes through that tiny little hole. It is the devil's horn. I found this out personally firsthand while working on them. The keys are so confoundedly small, and my hands are quite large, as I am a large individual. And it's not been the most fun. I did volunteer for this extra project, though, because if I'm going to do this as a career, I need to know how to fix all things, including the devil's horn.
Fair.
But Monday we start bassoon.
Ooh.
And then we
I love
finish
and
on
hate
Friday.
that for you.
I'm
luck.
excited. I have a bassoon. Of course, I'm getting married to a bassoonist.
Mhm.
And that is that one instrument that while I was in high school, that was what I wanted to play. I went to my band director and said, "Mr. K, I want to play bassoon." He said, "Well, we don't have a bassoon. Let me ask the schools in the county to see if anybody else has one we can borrow." There was one other school in the county that had just purchased one, and they
They're
had
not
just
gonna
started a freshman on it that year. So I could not. So he looked at me and said, "Well, we can't do bassoon." I said, what else is close to that?" He said, "I don't know, bass clarinet." So I started playing bass clarinet. And the rest is history. So bassoon methods with Dr. BB was a lot of fun. But I'm looking forward to getting more behind the technical aspects of, because there's aspects of bassoon that frighten me to no end. Like
Girl, same.
Like the fact that you
Like-
need 4 thumbs to be able to appropriately play this instrument.
I mean, accurate.
the fact that the pancake key has a curved pad underneath it, that there are push rods, wooden dowels that run through the instrument
through
that
the-
activate
that-
keys on the
joints.
opposite side. Fucking bonkers. Who the fuck saw this and thought, I know, I'll do that. That'll work. And then we kept the same design for 200 years because no one can do it better, apparently.
Hey, when it works, it
and-
works.
That and like if we slap any more keys, the tuning of it is just going to go even more
Even worse.
horrifically
Yeah.
in all directions.
I did find there was this video that was produced back in like the 50s or 60s that there was someone who was trying to reformulate a bassoon with keywork so that it made more sense and wasn't as fucking stupid. So they based it loosely off of the similar systems like flute, clarinet, and saxophone all kind of work off of, where it's just B, A, G down the horn. But they used like buttons and electronic systems to send signals to the instrument to close the right pads and keys at the right time. It was fucking weird. It was really cool, but it was weird. And this was like old, like 1950s electric bassoon. And it wasn't like a lot of it. It was still like a bassoon. The electrical buttons didn't change the sound of it. The buttons were just closing the pads on the instrument.
Wow.
It was fucking bonkers.
That's wild.
Where did you
But,
hear
like,
about this?
I saw it was a YouTube video I saw years ago that now I'm gonna have to try and find after this.
Yeah, look it up because I want to know more about that.
It was
If there's like a
fucking-
paper done on it or something, I would want to read that. That sounds cool as hell. And weird, but also cool. Did he just modify like a regular ass bassoon?
Yeah.
To do that?
like buttons and shit.
Oh dang. Okay.
I stood up because I'm trying not to fall asleep because it's bedtime.
That is fair. I am feeling very much those vibes.
We need a TPK to wake us up. It's one way to end the campaign.
I mean, I was gonna save that for another like 2 sessions, but I guess we can fast forward. So, firearms. Brad
How
was an
do you
exception
do
because
firearms?
he invested a lot of skill
Feats.
points and feats
Skill
into
points.
fire.
The gunner feat from Tasha's. Actually, I don't have disadvantage when I'm firing at a target within 5 feet because I took the gunner feat from Tasha's over everything.
For everyone else, though, you normies who don't have any of the gunner feats and things, firearms work like flintlock firearms do. So if you don't have any extra stuffs, you can fire once, and it takes an action to reload. Because you have to do the whole, like, gunpowder. Yeah, so it's the whole thing. But it deals 1d8 damage, and has a range of 30, 90. So it's just a good sort of backup one-shot range.
The extra rules for armor.
Extra. Oh, thank you, Bradley. You remembered all that stuff I sent you, and I didn't.
It's in my character sheet.
That's awesome.
It's
So,
a very important aspect of this
some
character.
bonus rules for flintlocks. Whenever you use a flintlock weapon to attack someone wearing armor, their armor class is effectively reduced by 2. So essentially, you have a sort of a +2 to hit because of its ability to pierce through armor easier. Like other ranged weapons, you have disadvantage on attacks within 5 feet. If you roll a nat 1, it misfires. You take a bit of damage, and it can't be fired again until you take a short rest to clean it out, which I think I amended for you, Bradley, a little.
Yeah. It was, you said like an hour or something like that.
So we're going back to an hour on that one. Of course, if it is submerged in water, it's donezo until you spend the time to dry it out. And then, of course, when in severe snow or rain, which is all the time now, the chance of misfire is on a 1 or a 2 instead of just a 1. So you crit fail on a 1 and a 2 during heavy rains. But, so for like now, even though it is heavy rain, you're kind of indoors. There is some coming through, you're not standing in the middle of a storm. So, you know, situational. But, anywho, yeah,
I'm
we did.
DM.
Yes.
I I have 2 questions about the pistol.
Yeah.
First of all, does it use dex in terms of
Yes.
modifiers?
Yes.
Okay. And second of all, since Portia had a pistol as an NPC, do they have proficiency?
Yes. Since this is like a flintlock setting, it's a simple weapon. It's just assumed that if you have a simple weapon proficiency, you can use a pistol.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And since you have more than one firearm, Rachel, one of the notes in the pistol description is that people often carry 2 pistols to cut down on reload time. So essentially, for you, because you have 2 pistols and you have multiple attacks, you could fire one, fire the other with your second attack.
Hell yeah.
And then, of course, you have action to reload each one. So it's, it's kind of a right out the gate thing, which is actually how they were used the very first time, is with Kamin. She pulled out both and then threw them on the ground and went out with knives.
That is how that happened.
It's high noon.
It's a strat.
What type of damage does it do? Bludgeoning?
Piercing.
Enough.
Piercing?
Yeah, piercing.
Depends on how you use it. How Sludic's
Pain
probably going to
damage.
use it is bludgeoning damage.
There are also different types of ammunition. I think I've only given you one type of ammunition because up until now we didn't have anyone who used guns.
I
Kieran's
didn't know
like,
this part.
"Hmm?"
I didn't know this part.
Yeah,
Maybe
so-
I didn't read far enough. Oh no.
I may not have.
On purpose?
Some of them are only used for certain things. So there's standard shot, there's buckshot, which of course is a blunderbuss thing.
Sure.
There is buck and ball, which is a
What?
combination of standard and buckshot, which is no disadvantage at point blank range. Not as important for you. The only one that might be interesting to you, Bradley, is the spin shot, which is it is an Ordisterium invention. It has a unique groove pattern on the lead, so it gives it extra spin, which
Minimal.
increases the range and accuracy. It also increases the damage. But to load a spin shot, it takes 2 actions to reload. So for you, Bradley, would probably amend it to
In action.
yeah.
Hey, Logie.
Yes.
Will you close your door a little bit more? Because I think my mic is picking you up.
I can try, but Lyra's toilet's in here.
Is it shut almost all the way?
Just about.
I guess it is. Okay, well,
Yeah, that's right.
stream's just gonna have to deal with maybe hearing Logan on my mic.
I'll start whispering, but then I'll get really close to my mic, so I won't really have to
Drift
whisper.
Chapel ASMR.
Perfect.
So you
Perfect.
see the Eldritch Horror, and it sounds like
I
Does
hate
it
that.
increase the damage?
for the spin shot,
doesn't
it is
say.
expensive, but it has no disadvantage at long range.
Oh,
1d6
1d6.
1d6 additional damage, and then extra reloads. But it's 20 gold pieces per 10 shots.
What? Oh, and also buckshot is 1d6 additional damage
Yeah.
on top of no disadvantage at point
And
blank
it says
range.
used primarily in a blunderbuss, but I don't really give a fuck if you want to use it.
That's well, now I got things to think about. Also, I don't have any money, so
Yeah.
Amina's rich,
Same.
apparently.
yeah.
No comment from Aminah. Love that.
Amina invested all of her money in crypto.
NFTs, baby.
Oh my god. Oh,
Alright, so when is Aminah
What,
gonna
Aminah?
launch her line of NFTs?
Yeah.
Spider NFTs,
Oh my god.
crossbow NFT.
oh my god. And I just watched a big documentary on why all that's so bad, and I totally believe someone probably already made that, so oh my god.
Yikes.
You heard it, chat. Get on it. We need some Aminah
Maybe
NFTs.
that's the next Shadows Over Driftchapel campaign is NFTs are the Eldritch Horror, and
Oh
No,
my
the
that's
god.
too
Like
real.
a-
I'm trying to escape reality for a
Yeah,
couple
this is an
hours. Stop.
escapism game.
We do a
Please.
cyberpunk setting a few, like a few decades from now, but it's cosmic
Next
horror.
year.
That would be
Cyberpunk
fucking
Cosmic
fun.
Horror. I mean,
That would be
Cyberpunk-
so much fun.
2025.
Cyberpunk is already. Anyway. So, any other
We
things
wait.
before you camp in the chapel? Well, I guess less of any more things of what is your plan? Are you just gonna sit and wait?
I thought that was the
What it
plan.
sounded like.
How,
So this is what we're doing? Yes.
how do I move my token?
Yeah, you click on it and move it.
What?
You need the little hand icon clicked,
Okay.
and then you should be able to click on
Oh.
Portia.
Okay, I
Your
see.
sheet.
It was just moving the map.
So,
Oh.
looking
Okay.
around, can I find a relatively easy spot to hide in here? I know there's a bunch of rubble thrown around anywhere, but Sludic's a big guy.
You can make one.
Okay.
Build a little take some of the broken wooden pews and build a little fort.
Just lay a
sweet.
bunch of wood on top of you.
Oh yeah, bust right through.
Oh yeah.
I
Um,
mean,
I'm sorry.
if this right here is like the altar where
Yes.
the statue is, then I think I'm probably just gonna mosey on over
Up.
somewhere like here.
on the stairs over here to the bell tower,
Mhm.
the stairs going up this way and then this way, or do they go up this way and then this way?
The second one.
So they go up this way and then this way?
Correct.
Cool. So I'm gonna post up on the stairs, a little bit up, so that I've got a view down towards the sanctuary, or does it get cut off by the ceiling?
You won't have a complete view, but if you go up a certain ways, you'll be able to basically get a good line of sight, at least on the hole.
The hole. Yeah, that's the
You can
important
see
bit.
the hole.
But I also am right here where I could cut the line to the bell tower and run away if
Yeah.
I needed to.
Would it be possible, how I'm standing on or squatting, perched on top of this
Sloth
This-
squatting.
thingy? Are these similar? Can I also do that here? Because we have a lot of people over here and only Kieran over there. So if I could perch right here or right there and be able to see.
So you can't sit on top of those walls. Those go so if you can imagine, on the right side of these, they go up to the ceiling of the sanctuary, which is about 25 to 30 feet up.
Oh, they're like walls.
Yeah, those are walls. And then on the left side, they're the bell tower.
Okay. And there's, this one's a little crumbled. Is there a little crumbly spot I can perch in?
Not really. It would be very visible if you did that.
Poopy.
But there are rafters connecting up in those areas, so you could sit in one of those corners just up on some rafters.
I do have slow fall. How high up are the rafters?
Not far, 25 feet.
Oh, well, I'll just get up there. Get up the rafters, preferably on this side of the wall, but if there's one that just kind of goes
Sure.
awesome if it just goes over this entrance, this bottleneck.
Yeah, that's an archway that goes up about 10 feet. But
no.
there's enough of a, how in Assassin's Creed there are ledges you can shimmy across along the wall. It's kind of like that, where there's enough space for you to jump over to a rafter or shimmy along the wall at the same height. So there's enough way to get back and forth if you need to.
Okay. I'll just be on the nearest rafter to this little entrance area.
Drew, I see you've built your own.
Yeah, I built a little brown line that goes across the map diagonally as a little wooden wall to
Sludig
house
poops in his
Sludig.
hand and has a brown.
Smears it on the floor.
They won't come near me. There's poop. Who would want to go near the poop?
What's the bear circle in SpongeBob?
See there.
The poop circle?
It's not poop.
Oh, I hate it. You may have to redraw your poop line in a minute, Drew, because I assume you guys sit here all day. in some way, shape, or form. You take to these perches every once in a while. You may step down to speak about something or to
Go to the bathroom.
convene or
Sing a song.
go to the bathroom.
Play some cards.
You're like a sloth. You have to climb all the way down from the tree to go take a poop.
Instead of smearing it on the wall around you.
Yeah, just. It was having the old farmer's breakfast at IHOP.
It's true.
I imagine that's like Sludig's one thing, because you're like, you're a barbarian, you're an outlander, but you're also a monk, and people meet you and you're like, oh, Sludig's a nice guy. I don't, he doesn't seem that bad, but his one thing is that he poops in his hand, and that's his one barbarian trait.
That's his fatal flaw. That he poops
what
in
a
his
bad
hand.
one to have.
Wow.
I always love that kind of stuff where it's like this person is perfectly, its character's perfectly normal, but then they do this one really horrible thing. Oh god. So, what we'll do, let me see if I can copy all of these things. I think I can. Let me draw a big old square. Copy. Move you to another map because, after a
After we
certain
all
amount-
just got situated on this map, you're gonna move us to another map?
but I'm gonna copy paste you.
Oh.
So is it still you if I copy and paste? No. Because after a certain amount of time, the storm continues raging outside. The sun begins to set. I assume, since you all are more or less hiding, you're not gonna ignite your own lights to any capacity.
I resist the urge, yes.
There's
I
probably
will
part
have-
of you, as you see the sunset, you're like,
Yeah.
um,
I like whisper yell across the sanctuary to be like, are you sure I can't go out and light just a couple of lanterns? Everyone's like, shut the fuck up. Idiot. Dumb idiot baby.
But after a certain amount of time, probably Sludig and Aminah would be the first to notice a change in environment. It gets colder, but not... At first it feels like temperature cold, but then it starts to... like that feeling of whenever the hairs stand up on your neck, and it's sort of just this tense tingling on the surface of your skin. It's like that, but then it's almost painful. It almost hurts. Like you just feel uncomfortable and tense. So it's cold, but it's more than cold. And it starts to grow and grow until eventually it reaches Portia. Eventually it reaches Kieran. And at that point, Portia, you start to think like, oh, I need to turn on some lights in here. It's way too dark. The braziers that are situated in some of the corners ignite
Oh fuck.
into a very dim light. One that, you probably wouldn't be able to see with all the rain and overcast from too far away. But it's this dim, greenish, magical looking light. No natural looking flame like you've ever seen before. I'm going to jump us over to a map. I'm going to paste a thing. I'm going to put... Oh, it didn't copy Sludig's line.
That's okay, I got you.
You can go on command again? Oh no, is the grid not
Farmer's
aligned?
breakfast.
I'm gonna throw
Oh,
up
my
if
line's
the
not
grid's
as good.
aligned.
I'm gonna throw
I'm
up.
gonna poop in my hand and
Poop my
smear it on
pants.
the wall. Hold on. Before you...
My first one, I did a really good
There we
job
go.
at
It
like
should be aligned.
steadying my shaky hands. The second one was just like whip. Oops.
Okay.
And for Kieran's perspective, the thing is glowing on the map. Thanks, Rachel.
Yeah.
Get them out of here.
During the day, those sort of ritualistic circles on the ground almost resemble just scarring, scorch marks, and shadows. They're not glowing in an arcane way. It's almost as if like a UV light revealing like glowing areas that you normally would be able to see. It's like these kind of greenish magical lights are sort of revealing these new patterns and colors of this, what was once just a scar on the floor. But you are pretty confident that when Sludig ruined it previously, it's not actually doing anything. It's just sort of this strange magical effect reflecting off of it. But, Aminah, you notice that beneath you, as you are kind of huddled up with this statue, even the candles light up in that same kind of greenish, strange color on this altar. And eventually you all start to hear kind of wet, slapping sounds of some kind of like flippers hitting the stone.
Ducks.
Of Drew's neighbors moving.
I love them.
Some gurgling sounds, mumbling almost. Hard to make out the words with all the deep gurgling and distance of it. But eventually you see these sort of reflective, slimy, green-skinned humanoids start to clamber up out of the hole in the sanctuary and slink around with these massive, golden, almost glowing yellow eyes. I actually have some artwork for this. That's the cultist artwork. Let me page up. There we go.
Ryan Crocodile left the party.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, not our crocodile. We
that's-
needed him.
that's Streamlabs. Apparently that
Oh,
counts
bye,
as thing.
Streamlabs.
Because I changed the scene. So what I'm gonna do is I place tokens. If I can get each one of you to make a stealth check for me, as all these deep ones.
That is a 17.
That's a natural 20 for a 25.
That is a 19 for me.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Whew. 17.
Ooh, and what'd you get, Drew?
There's
17.
17, and Bradley, you said 19.
25.
Oh, you said you were that one.
Natural 20.
Oh boy, oh boy. I guess I might as well roll because they actually are kind of actively searching. Oh! Well, that's a 5 and a 6 on the die, so I think they don't know you're there.
Logie, are you squeaking?
Is that me?
Who's-
I hear that.
Oh no, that's me. That's our automatic cat litter thingy
Oh.
cleaning it out.
I thought it was a mic echoing.
No, it's a litter box that is very tired.
Me too, Litterbox.
Yeah.
Relatable litter box content.
Ooh, but I see the weird fish people are.
Yes, weird
Oh,
fish
yikes.
people. And Sludig and Aminah, you hear human voices down in the hole. Except it becomes very clear that no one knows you're there because they're like, wow, it's actually pretty handy. We can climb up so easily now. You know, walk straight up all these rocks. I don't have to use that stupid ladder anymore. Getting splinters all the time. So they clearly don't have any concept that you're there. And even once
Okay.
these fish folk emerge, start like slinking their way around. No idea.
Are the fish people talking in human voices, or do we just hear? I mean, Aminah's just hears human
Just
voices.
hears human voices.
Okay.
The fish
I was
people are
like-
kind of like
Yeah, I was like,
gurgling.
are these terrifying creatures
to one
just
another.
talking in like a normal ass voice?
Hey, so what'd you do this weekend?
Oh, hey there. I'm just coming up through this hole here. And, oh, hey.
Hey, I thought you had today off. They
It's
called
the
me
ice
in.
fishing people, eh?
So, is there anything you want to do as they slink around and search the sanctuary and sniff around?
Get ready to fucking shoot them.
Yeah. Prepare
Sludig is waiting
to
for one of the
jump
ranged
on them.
people to go.
Nobushi.
Holding
Something
onto.
happens.
Oh, no.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
So if everyone, thank you, Rachel. Everyone drink.
It's not water, but.
Drink water, bitch. Is that your flavored water?
Flavored water beverage. I don't know what
Yeah,
that
okay.
means.
Yeah, okay.
It's like what is
They're
what
like
is
68
Yoo-hoo
cents at
chocolate
Aldi.
drink or whatever.
Chocolate
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah.
So yes, these few fish folks slink over into the bell tower area and start slinking around, sniffing, smelling, occasionally
dear.
licking the floor or touching their bare eyeball to the wall, while the rest
Oh
of these
God. Why would you say that? Disgusting.
I wish I was better at keeping a straight face.
Oh, I can't.
Whenever I've developed this thing of running Call of Cthulhu and Shadows Over Driftchapel, is sometimes you just have to say really outlandish, upsetting things just to elicit, like, that kind of reaction. Because if I can make all of these creatures and monsters seem as unbelievable as possible, then my job's done.
Yeah.
So if I could somehow convince you that they rub their eyeballs on stuff to perceive things, then that's what I could.
That's fucking gross.
Exactly, it's
That's
working.
fucking
What's
disgusting.
the point of having eyeballs at that point? Like, why don't you have feelers? Like catfish
Well,
whiskers or something.
They're on their
Maybe
way to
they're-
evolving at that point.
Oh, okay.
Maybe their
eyeballs
eyeballs
are slowly
act like
growing
their
tentacles.
finger pads.
Maybe they just have really bad vision. They have to get so close. But eventually, as they are slinking around and looking at things, you see some a few extra folks pop up through one of the holes.
I swear to God, if Dieter comes up through that hole.
I'll put a bullet in his head, like as soon as he comes up.
Oh no! Where are they? Where's the hello? There they are.
Where's the hello emote?
Oh geez, is my thing not working anymore? I'm trying to pull out a token and it's not working. Hello?
Hello?
Add, subtract, drag, click, refresh. Everything comes out. No. There he is. A 1, 2, followed
A 3?
by a crusty, cracked lip bitch in robes.
Ew.
Uh,
Why does this robe have teeth?
You know why.
Robes get hungry too.
Barnacles.
But
I moved one. I'm sorry.
it's okay. They're moving around basically all the time.
Hmm.
So as they emerge, they sort of glance around and they say, "It looks all the same."
Sorry.
And one of them yells out for the fish folk in the bell tower area in some kind of horrible guttural language. And then you hear it respond. And then they
Is it
turn.
Orcish?
They don't turn. And specifically, this is the cultist yelling out. Turns over to the townsfolk nearby and say, "Trap's not triggered yet. That's good. That's good. They've been kind of quiet this past week. Maybe they've left for good this time."
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
did
That
you
was out of
fart?
character.
That smells horrible. No, I didn't do it. It was you.
It was like eggs. Sorry.
Like IHOP eggs.
But specifically Portia, you don't recognize them to any kind of significant degree. But these townsfolk, like, there's a good chance you've interacted with them before. That you probably bought some stuff from them or talked to them while you lit lamps, a year ago.
What do these people look like?
Right now, they are hats pulled over, heavy coats, lantern, hand on hip, ready to grab it, pistol.
So that's a hat?
Yes.
The big cylinder thing on their head?
Yes.
Oh shit, Jesus fuck. I was
I
zoomed
zoomed
in
in
like
really
as far as I
close.
could,
It
yeah.
got so big.
My bad.
Dude, I want
Oh, then I
one
try
of
and
those
zoom out, and
hats.
it's this big.
I'll shrink it.
Oh,
And,
no,
Jeez, okay.
and also, apparently, there is an NPC token in here of just generic NPC, and I realized that it'd probably be a good Sludig token in an alternate universe.
That's a generic NPC.
Apparently.
In Driftchapel.
Yeah, okay.
In Driftchapel,
Life's pretty bad in Driftchapel.
but they all
Walmart
walk around, and
brand
if I can
Sludig.
get in,
Like that.
mostly, Portia, Sludig, Aminah to make a stealth check this time. From the
If I fail the stealth check, I let out a fart. I'm calling it now.
I got a 21.
An
18.
The second time you got this.
I know.
What? No, you got it. Did you get an 18 last time?
Wait.
thought
I
you
know.
got a
I got an
17.
8. Yeah, we both got 17s last time. We both got 8.
Oh, you same score for yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, 22. I can do math.
No, you can't.
I know.
Into the
Stop
compilation
judging
it goes.
me.
I can do math. No, you can't.
Haven't had a math class since high school. Leave me alone.
Same. I feel it.
Bradley.
That's me.
I just love randomly calling on folks.
When he says, roll a d20 for me, is when we get worried.
Roll a d12 for me.
Oh no, it got even worse!
Fuck.
To determine this something happens.
Cool. Middle of the road, 6. Could be good, could be bad. 6.
Rachel, roll a d4 for me.
Shit. Can't pick it up. Hold on.
I also want a compilation of Drew making that face.
What face? Oh. 4.
Probably a lot.
Do I insta die?
You do not instant die, but Aminah.
What? I'm sorry. Hello?
D12 for the event, D4 for the person. Aminah. There's something about it's almost sensory overload. The tingling on your skin, the strange colored flames, your entire party being completely silent. It's been a while, if not forever, since you've ever been in one kind of like this high stakes situation with a group. You've usually been by yourself, dungeon delving, exploring, traveling. And between the rain, the thunder, the tingling of your skin, the strange colored flickering lights, the creatures, the sounds, everything, that suddenly you start to think like it's all falling apart. They know we're here. They've got to know. It's whatever this being is, it knows we're here. And to quote, an intense, unshakable fear suddenly grips you, and you can't help but want to flee. And I will let you, Daniel, do with that what you will, as all of these folks are traipsing around searching for any sign that people have been here.
You can't leave.
Okay. Do I have control of my limbs?
Yes, you have control, but I imagine probably one of the first things is you look up, and because you're like kind of up on a statue, you're not far from the ceiling and the rafters,
Yeah.
and there's a hole in the ceiling not too far from you.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's a rough
Okay.
something happens.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Heck you, Nobushi.
Yes.
Heck.
Keeping it spicy.
Well, okay. Amina's going to go as far as the rafters, but as she's like running, she's also going to reach in her pocket and pull out a vial of the reality dust and try and stop this shit from happening.
So you all, by you all, mostly Portia and Sludig, you see Aminah kind of slowly start to clamber up. And I imagine probably has, with this increased spider physicality to her, you know how, like, people who play monsters in movies move with that kind of weird, like... I imagine Aminah has almost started moving like that, almost subconsciously, where it's, like, kind of this unnatural climb to some degree. And so you watch Aminah start to climb up and toward the ceiling. But then, for a brief moment, start to fidget, and you watch a fork pop out and inhale.
Ready to go.
Man. Anti-panic attack dust. What if that was real?
What if it was real?
That would
What?
be great.
Like, please.
It
give-
does.
give
It's
me
called
all this.
cocaine.
Okay. So yeah, Aminah climbs up a little bit higher. Sludig and Portia, do you want to do anything in response to Aminah doing this?
I have no... Can I get a vibe check?
As long as there's no
Like-
reaction from the people walking around looking, Sludic's gonna stay hidden. He thinks Aminah has a plan.
Yeah, like, I trust Aminah.
I've worked with her.
But, like, if her face... If she's, like, terrified on her face... If her vibes
Well,
are off...
her face is all wrapped up.
That's true.
Oh, shit.
I
right.
imagine you, like, everyone's like, all right, I trust Aminah, and Amina's just sitting there like, don't freak out, don't freak out, don't freak out.
Yeah.
So yeah, Aminah, go ahead and make one more stealth check for me. That's not just Aminah. With all this moving around, the popping of the cork, the inhale.
Yo, I love. What is that word? What is that word?
Lamp.
I love lamp. I love reliable talent because that just made this instantly 19.
Yep.
Nice.
Golden.
Wow. Amazing.
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 Amazeballs.
We stand.
Amazeballs. So even though Aminah was about to start tripping balls, she stopped for a moment, regained her composure, kind of positioned herself, and just settled back down. So, it looks like these folks continue to search. A bit more gurgling sounds, and one of these deep one fish folk starts to move over toward the staircase to begin sort of traipsing up and
Oh?
sniffing and skulking about.
I mean, I'm just laying there on the steps. Fuck. Okay, as it gets closer to me, no, okay. If I see it start to come towards the steps, I'm going to try and sneakily make my way further up the steps.
Just gotta follow its keep a distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where the fuck else am I gonna go?
That's fair. Make a stealth check for me, Kieran.
That's the second time in a row. I've only rolled 2d20s. They've both been 20s. That's a 25.
I
It's a
rolled a-
good time
I
for it.
rolled a handful of d20s. I rolled higher than a 6, I think, on all of them. So- yes, you skulk away. Keeping a distance.
I want to keep a distance, but get up to the top of the bell tower and just kind of wait. And I want to prepare if this thing makes it to the top of the bell tower. Is there like an opening or a window or a shitty patchwork where I could try and shove him out the window?
Definitely.
Cool. I'm going to do that.
I'm going to do. And you know, there might be a time or two where it loses interest and starts to slink back away, but you can always like a little tap here or there.
Tippy tap tap tap.
Yeah, a little clear your throat or something. Hard on command.
A better skill than Sludig's, apparently.
Oh god. Oh, it's and eventually able to lure it up onto this it's a small balcony, so you know there's such a brief, pun intended, window for you to shove this creature. But by the time it gets up there, sniffing around, and eventually its big, almost flashlight like eyes aim at you. Go ahead
I'm
and
gonna
yeah, what are you gonna do?
pull up my short sword and go for a big stab, and I'm gonna use a superiority die and do a pushing attack. So first I
Yeah.
need to roll to hit. That
You
is
have
cock.
advantage.
Oh, sweet.
Mr.
Oh, and if I hit, I get
That is cock.
sneak attack.
Hawked.
That is cock. That is actually a 24 to hit.
Oh, absolutely, it's gonna.
Push there it is. Yeah. I need a strength saving throw for
Oh
me.
boy. Maybe I'll roll higher than a 6.
Don't.
Don't.
That's a natural 1.
Okay.
Wow.
And I need to grab.
I'm just charging
these
up.
guys.
Honestly, yeah, probably.
That dude in robes, nothing but nat 20s.
That is 19 points of piercing damage, and he is pushed back away from me 15 feet. Just
And
out
eat
the window.
it.
And with all the rain, thunder, storming, and other skulking about, you barely hear the distant thud. Wait a moment. You hear a bit of gurgling coming from the one downstairs.
Can I, if I like peer down, like the tower, can I see it?
You can see him almost like doing circles, like he's confused around this sort of central bell tower area, like leaning over toward the door, smelling at the staircase. So you could tell he heard something, but isn't sure what. And he's just kind of.
So now I got thoughts. We're here to fucking kill fish people, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to pull out my pistol.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tap the barrel of the pistol against the bell. Not super hard, but like loud enough that the people in the sanctuary would hear it.
Basically, a deafening silence falls over everything. You just hear the rain, the thunder in the distance.
Was that supposed to be a sign?
Slight echo of the bell.
Is that a signal? Do we go?
And because it's all like warped and stuff, it's not a good sound. It's not a pleasant chiming sound.
So I am going to, once I do that, I'm going to keep my eyes trained down there. As soon as I see more than one adversary down there below, I'm going to cut the rope to the bell tower. Or to the bell.
Do you have a plan to like you surviving this?
I'll get to that later.
Great, totes, awesome.
Yeah. So there's a bit of gurgling coming from this sort of robed cultist. Clearly a command as these deep ones start to run out. This one's run over to the stairs and is using its big sort of like lamplight eyes to like look up, scan a bit.
I'm gonna. I wish I could come up with a witty one-liner, but I can't right now. Oh yes, I can. I guess this will ring their bell, and I'm gonna cut the line and let
A
it go.
one-liner that no one will hear.
No
You
one will
said to
hear.
yourself.
I feel better about myself.
The audience hears it.
The camera zooms in on my face.
Exactly.
There's a laugh track. Wait, where's that coming from?
The
Shit.
Seinfeld.
Thank you, studio audience.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, and basically
Shadows
just
Over Driftchapel, filmed in front of a live studio audience. Sorry.
filmed in front of live Eldritch Horrors. Oh, did I get you, Daniel? man, I love making stupid jokes and it gets anyone at all. It's rare. And so with that, basically a combination of falling bell and rubble completely rocking this bell tower as it comes rocketing down, smashing into the center of the floor, immediately either killing or knocking away or knocking unconscious, whatever, some way, shape, or form incapacitating the 3 deep ones in this whole bell tower area due to just, at very least, impact of it hitting there and the surprise of it, and generally surprising everyone else in the process, except for maybe your companions who knew you were up there and probably registered something. So we'll stop there for tonight because it's 2.5 hours in.
Yeah.
And the combat will take another hour or so, even though
I was gonna say
I want to do
it's
it.
fully 10 o'clock right now, about to
God,
start
we're
combat.
adults. I remember back in the good old days whenever we would play adult
4 a.m. D&D.
and we were absolutely miserable.
One day.
I don't know what you're talking about. 4 a.m. D&D. There was that one time at Barlow's house we played D&D for literally 3
I didn't
days.
sleep, I think.
Yeah,
If we did, it was brief.
yeah.
Jesus,
It's good
that
times. Good times.
Altador
Armageddon.
session in Zionsville.
Oh yeah, it was
Yep.
like 2 or 3 days straight.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Only stopping to sleep and then waking up
Yeah.
and keep going.
Literally.
that was so much fun though.
Go get some bajangles and then come back.
Bajangas, yeah. You know,
Get
30
that
minutes
Dollar
away.
General.
Yep.
Yo. Yeah, so we'll pick up with your ambush on all these folks next time.
Okay.
Woo!
Do we roll
I
initiative?
already killed kind of 3 or 4 of them. Fuck yeah.
We'll do that next time, just so that way
Okay.
we don't lose it and forget
That
it.
way he can open the session up with
Roll initiative. Yeah, it'll feel good.
Basically.
Yeah, basically. So,
Okay.
yes, thank you to my lovely players. Fun as always.
Yes.
Now you can go to IHOP.
Yes.
No.
I might
shout-outs
actually get the double blueberry pancakes next time I go. Just for
in
this. Yeah.
honor. It's gonna be so sweet.
It'll probably be terrible,
It's
but we'll see.
Thank you to Dan J. Bringus, which I assume is Josh.
Oh, it is Josh.
I can only assume. Shout out to Cody for I think he was gifted a sub. Shout out to Cody for receiving a gift. Wink, wink.
Thanks to whoever gave the gift.
It was Jacob. Jacob always does it.
Oh, thanks, Jacob.
And shout out to Justin for being the cheerleader, the reigning champ for February, the reigning cheerleader.
Will anyone
The
rise
reigning
up to
champ.
knock
Yeah.
them from their throne?
Well,
Who
Think
knows?
of that too. I can't imagine Justin being a ruler. Can you, Drew?
Depends over what.
Running for office for anything?
I plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Oh man. Okay. Well, with that, I will. Gosh, I don't know when we'll be able to play next, just because March is going to be bussy. But I will definitely, if you want to watch us, I'll definitely post in Discord about it. I'll definitely post on Twitter about it. I will. You'll get a notification if you turn on your little bell-a-do, and I'll also put an update into my Twitch panels. So just keep an eye out. At the very least, we will come together in a couple weeks to maybe even just play some games together and sit and hang out and do some fun stuff. I've had
Hell
a
yeah.
couple non-D&D things in mind that I've been wanting to do. Some actual D&D things in mind that I want to do that would be super fun, like everyone improvising a one-shot.
Wait,
At the
what is
same
it?
time,
You mean like everyone DMing or
No,
everyone
I have-
improvising their
so
characters?
From a giveaway a while back, I got these storytelling cards.
Interesting.
And it has random story elements in it. And basically, what would happen, it'd be like, "Hey, Bradley, you have to make a character using the prompt reptile. And you have to
Done.
like, give you the words
Got
on
it.
there. And
The
or I'd be like,
return
hey,
of
Drew,
Regan,
already
the
hearing-
lizard wizard.
Yeah, the fancy door.
Drew, you have
The
to
fancy door.
Drew, you have to make a character concept using love, and there's all sorts of stuff on here like
Oh.
marriage, romantic, jealousy, divorce, crime of passion.
I'll just play
Jesus.
Salutic.
Yeah, so it's essentially like
Hang on. Jealousy, love, crime of passion, lizard, you know,
I mean-
the basic human emotions.
you've heard of reptile brain before. But basically, yeah, where everyone gets like a prompt card, and they have to quickly make a character concept
That's
using
cool.
that prompt,
I
and then
love that.
while that happens, I draw some cards and I quickly make up an adventure based off those like
I
symbols.
want to do that for like campaign characters.
Right?
Yeah.
Like draw cards and be like, this is who I am now.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
There's some really crazy ones in here.
I
love
kind
that.
of love making a character at first level and truly like just not knowing who they
No
are.
direction.
Yeah, until you get like a little bit further into the game and you're like, oh, I guess they're like this.
Yeah. Because they're also divided into like categories, so like locations, items, ideals, things like that. So it could also be like you sort of pick your thing, the theme of your prompt. But so that's been on my ideal list for a while. Definitely love to do
Yeah.
that, just because it would be just
Hell yeah.
good old fun.
Hell yeah.
But besides that, just turn on your notifications, keep an eye out on social media and my Twitch panels and in Discord and things like that. And we'll see what we end up doing. I guess, Bradley, what's the weather like in Driftchapel?
Bussy. We already talked.
Is that what it was last week? Or last
So
time?
last week, I think
Was it lit?
You,
Last-
I think
you
it was
got
lit.
asked and it was lit. The time before that, it was fleshy. I think.
Yeah, sounds
We
right.
need that's what we need a compilation of is all the weather.
All the different ones.
Yeah,
It's bussy.
today's weather is bussy.
It definitely
This is
becomes
very
more
weird. It's
unhinged
very
over
bussy.
time.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, it started as
Rightfully.
rain adjectives.
Rainy.
It
wet.
did.
And yeah,
Moist.
now it's turning into fleshy and bussy and lit.
Fleshy bussy.
Lovely.
all right, everybody have a good night.
We're gonna end on that.
Bye, everybody. Make a